Hello everyone and welcome to this Left Behind Remake Grounded Speedrun tutorial. Now, Left Behind's the DLC to the campaign The Last of Us, and in the remake, Left Behind was also remade. So, we'll be doing the tutorial for this. I'm not going to have my webcam on for this, but I'll have it on for right now. And this is going to be for Grounded. I actually don't know how to run it on very light, but Grounded's obviously harder, so it's good to have like a base set of strats for that one. If you can do Grounded, you can do very light. But what we're really going to be doing, there's a lot of restart checkpoints in the run that you got to memorize if you want to have the best time, because the timing method for this is also speedrun mode for both PC and PS5. There are a couple differences between PC and PS5, and I will go over them. But for the making of this tutorial, I am playing on the PS5 version. There are a couple differences. They are treated as separate leaderboards, but very few differences that I will go over when the time comes. Now, as for submitting a speedrun, I'll get this out of the way quick. There's a couple things. It's just like the campaign. When a run either begins or finishes, I prefer finishes. Awareness indicators have to be off. If you're on PC, you need to show that your frame rate is capped at 80. It also has to be displayed on the screen, which is also in display. If you're on PS5, you don't have to show that you have unlocked frame rate off or on, but I choose to have it on because it's the most comfortable style of play. And then accessibility features. Lock-on aim has to be off. High contrast display has to be off. Enhanced listen mode off, infinite breath off, skip puzzle off, and combat accessibilities off. And these are pretty much turned off. No, I think you can have these on Grounded as well. But yeah, those have to be turned off for a Grounded run. And yeah, if you don't show those after a run, we won't accept it. So just getting that out of the way first. All right, let's get started here. Again, I won't have speedrun mode shown because I can't make save files, but the official timing method is, of course, sometimes there's a glitch where speedrun mode doesn't display. So if that happens, here, I'll even show you. If that happens, close the game. It's supposed to be displayed right under permadeath. That's good. We'll get it. We'll show you everything, even a glitch on the main menu. Speedrun mode was supposed to be displayed right below permadeath, but it wasn't. Well, that gives me a chance. I'll show off my own personal settings for controls and stuff. Left Behind. Hold on. Options. So these are the sensitivities that I use on PS5. 50, 50, 9, 9, 30, and 50. Just what I've come to use, okay? That's preference, though. You can put it to whatever you like there. Okay, Left Behind, new game, Grounded. There it is. It wasn't there before, because this is the greatest video game ever made. That normally has to be turned on for, because that's the official timing method. It'll pop up on the top right part of the screen. But you're not able to make save files. Since I'm going to be making some files, I'm not going to use it. You just got to trust me on the things I say when you restart checkpoint or skip cutscene, you won't be penalized any time at all. It was when the game launched, but there was a patch around a month ago where speedrun mode actually changed. It no longer counts a second during a black screen. If there is a black screen, the timer is paused completely, whether you're skipping cutscenes or restarting checkpoints. You can bring up any run that's submitted and you can see that as well. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. We got the controller display on the bottom. And let's go. If you take one thing from this tutorial, memorize all the restart checkpoints because they combine to save quite a bit of time. Some save more time than others. Also, when you begin a run on Grounded, if nothing pops up, you're fine, but sometimes it'll say, we recommend having some things turned off for Grounded. And that's when you hit yes or no. If that pops up, one of the things I mentioned earlier is turned on, which needs to be turned off, and hitting yes will turn it off automatically for you. If that pops up and you hit no, then we probably won't count it. But alright, here we go. So during this part of the game right here, you need to rely on a lot of... There are no enemy encounters just yet. You need to rely on a lot of restart checkpoints.
I totally got this.
So when speedrun mode counts up to 9 seconds, you do a checkpoint and it saves 0.3 seconds. We are at the point now that we do need to save milliseconds, okay? Because this is a shorter run. Now, a way to tell, and this is just like in the campaign, the speedrun mode is paused during a pause screen and during cutscenes and during loading screens. But a way to know, you can't tell when a checkpoint has been hit. You can't tell when a checkpoint has been hit based on speedrun mode. You need to go in either a load file or a save file and look at the current autosave. When the number changes, from one number to a different number, that's how you know a checkpoint has been hit. If you watch a PB or a record in any of the Left Behind categories, you're going to see a lot of pausing, a lot of checking the load files, because we want to be able to get the benefit of a restart checkpoint, like, as perfectly timed as it can possibly be. So the number changed there. That means we're going to do a restart checkpoint here. And what this one does, it places Ellie a tiny bit further, but there's a thing in this game when you start running from like a fixed position, it literally looks like this. Ellie will be like running, but she's not moving, and then she goes. It's like an old cartoon. It's kind of right here. If I were to move right away, Ellie, well, I'll show it to you. So right there is the checkpoint. But if I were to move right away, Ellie, see how her legs are moving, but she didn't move right away? The checkpoint makes it so you're able to move instantly. And this one saves literally 0.3 of a second. But they all add up. Then we just go over here. All right, I need to talk about something here, and that's Ellie's crouch speed. Not crouch walking speed. I'm talking about her crouch speed. It turns out, if you crouch when holding sprint, she will crouch down faster. Because if you don't have it held down, it takes her longer. See how, when you have sprint held down the whole time, see how long it takes for her to crouch all the way down? But if you don't have it held down and you let go and then hit circle, it takes her a lot longer. This was driving me crazy for so long. Like, why is someone else getting so much better times than me? And you gotta hold down sprint when you crouch. She'll crouch easier. She'll crouch faster. There's also a thing in this game, it's in the campaign as well. When you're swapping from one weapon to another, you'll skip the picking up animation, which is basically right here. So we need this brick, and then we go into Weston's Pharmacy. But we want to skip just crouching down to pick this up. So if you pull out your gun and then hit triangle, you see it skips the picking up animation and you can keep moving. So
Now where the fuck do I
I don't like the fact it sent us all the way back here, but whatever. Yeah, I figured I'd get those points out of the way. So this part's pretty boring, but you need to master your movement, okay? Try and not make Ellie bonk on some solid objects. You want to swap to your gun and then hit triangle. Right about like so. And then hold down circle. Or hold down sprint and then hit circle once. You don't need to mash circle, you just need to press it once. But you need sprint held down so she'll crouch faster. Because if you don't do that, oh my god, she bonks her head so much. Alright, this restart checkpoint right here doesn't save a lot of time, but it does save some time. So it's when she's through here. Just look for the time change. 153 to 228. When the number changes, and you literally do that by inching forward and just pausing and unpausing and checking the load file. Restart checkpoint, and it places her standing up and, like, through. It looks like it doesn't save a lot of time, but it does. Pick this up. Mash circle so you put it away.
Maybe he's got something on him.
Same thing with the sprint crouches, right there. Now, obviously, I should mention this. If you continue to hold down sprint like here, she's never going to start sprinting until you let go, then hold it back down. So when you do the sprint crouch and she's under, let go, then hold it back down. Now, I've found hitting this triangle prompt right here, perfectly facing the door, is good. Like, if you are here, you can see right there how long it took her to hit triangle. All right, we got to do this again. And I kind of do the same thing here. I'm, like, facing this thing and hitting triangle.
Maybe he's got something on him.
You want to be perfectly facing the door when you hit triangle. There's a little let go, then hold back down of sprint. So I turn her body, and I'm having her face this direction, and I hit triangle, and she goes right for the lock.
35 right, 3 left, 31 right. That worked.
Hold down triangle to lift. All right, now this one right here. Like, frames before you're able to move Ellie, hit circle, and she'll crouch. Like, be holding forward and time a circle prompt, and it'll look like this. Like, the very, very moment you can move her, hit circle. If this is perfectly timed, she won't bonk her head. Now, this checkpoint does save, like, an entire second, so you want to do this one. All right, 320. It's when she's through the gate. So 320. Just keep going. 320. This isn't counting against the timer. All right, there's the time change right there. Restart checkpoint. Places you inside the store. If you didn't do that, she would still be crouching. So, yep, saves time.
Oh, man. Don't come to life. Don't come to life.
Okay, now, if this works, sometimes the clicker doesn't show up, or he shows up late, but if he does, Ellie will be able to sprint right away.
Okay.
And you want to do the same thing. Be holding down sprint and crouch.
Damn it.
Right there. All right, this is what it looks like if the clicker doesn't show up.
Pharmacy. Let's do it.
That was a bad example. Let's see if it... All right, yeah, we can just... Where the hell did it place us? Oh, that's interesting. All right, anyway, we come from here, go over here, and then... That's what it's supposed to look like. Oh, she's tired. Hold on. This is a weird spot to place us. All right, so we go there. Come around this way. Right about here, the clicker will spawn in and you can sprint, and then you go. Right there. Crouch. See what happens if she hits her head. And then same thing here. Crouch. And go. Now right there, you want to swap to your brick early so she has nothing in her hands when she hits triangle, and you want to hit triangle late. As you can see, something doesn't look quite right here. Ellie's pretty much through the door. If you hit triangle early, she'll like stutter step the doorknob, and then it loses you about a second. But if you hit it at the, like when you're almost on top of the doorknob, you begin the door opening animation a lot earlier. As a result, Ellie's model kind of clips through the door, but the animation of unlocking the door is still happening in the background. So, yeah, swap to the brick and hit triangle on this door very late. Well, you want to swap to the brick a bit early, but you want to hit triangle very, very late.
Yes. No. Oh,
All right, be holding sprint,
Military
upright,
helicopter.
and mash X.
it's gotta have something. Hang in there.
Now we're gonna get one thing of crafting ingredients. Oh, remember, sprint crouch. Has to be a sprint crouch. Don't let go of sprint and then crouch, like I mentioned. There's 3 things of crafting ingredients over there. A rag, a blade, and an explosive. All we need is the explosive. All we need for this run is 1 extra nail bomb. There's a Molotov that we pick up, but we don't craft. But we do need a nail bomb for this run. In the old route, we crafted 2 nail bombs, but that wasted like 10 extra seconds, so we don't do that anymore. But 1 nail bomb is like required. So, yes, we are going to be gathering the supplies for a nail bomb. It's going to be 2 half-blade pickups, and then 1 1/4 explosive, another 1/4 explosive, and then a half an explosive. So this is where we're going to pick up, I believe it's half an explosive. Now, there's a blade on the bottom left, a rag on a shelf in the middle, and then an explosive on the right. So we're going to turn the camera to the right and pick up the explosive because that's all we need. Now, we're going to be swapping to our, remember the brick pickup? Swap to our pistol and then pick something up so it skips the picking up animation. We're going to do that here. And the only reason I'm like explaining this and not doing it yet is because if I have to do this over, we lose the sprint. Because the checkpoint places you with the clicker not spawned in. So it's gonna all look like this. Just like that. And then keep sprint held down the whole time. And then hit circle with it held down like I've been mentioning. And then same thing here. That's one thing you need to get into your muscle memory is to crouch with sprint held down. I cannot explain that enough. And then just mash X and she'll, her right foot clips through the little gate there. That's kind of funny.
Hurry.
And that's that. Study the movement of whatever the record is at the time and fine-tune that movement. We're able to get like 249 intros.
That was close.
And it's all because of those checkpoints and just perfect movement.
I'm impressed. Thanks. Well, come on.
All right, there are no encounters here, so it's just running to checkpoints and restarting checkpoints. It's literally all we do here. So Riley lags behind there. A lot of the reason for this checkpoints are to place Riley ahead of us. All right, sprint, crouch. Yeah, I could shorten it to sprout, but I'm not going to. All right, when you get through this little doorway, 636. 636. It's gonna change. That should do it. Yep, it changed to 656. It doesn't have to be this number specifically. Just notice when the number changes. Restart checkpoint. That places Riley in front of us. Big time save. All right, now this one. Normally, you have to go along this ledge right here with Riley, like this.
Who do you hang out with these days? I don't know. No one really.
But that's slow, and this is a speed run. Therefore, you know what? Just in case I accidentally hit a checkpoint, I'll make a file here. There are 2 different things you could do here. One, you could go here, mash X and forward, and Ellie will literally step over the wood ahead of Riley. But there's one other thing that's faster. That's good if you just want to get through the speed run, but there's one thing that's like a second faster, and it's this. Now that probably doesn't look faster, but it is. Okay, now there is some specific movement to it.
Making good time.
For example, if you just kind of climb up this way and then try and do that, it can work. I've had many instances where this like just doesn't work.
Who do you hang out with these days?
Okay,
I don't know.
game just dragged me in there.
No one really. What about Tino and the rest of the guys?
You also need to
Riley, those are your
leap
friends.
over,
Let you talk to them.
angled this way, because if you're over there, it really, well, let's see. Yeah, she doesn't grab onto that. So you want to climb up as far to the right as you can, turn the camera around, and then just go. This won't work every time, but as long as you do the movement properly, it will work. So again, I hang to the right.
We're making good time.
I point the camera to the right, and you can't climb up right away. You got to wait for Riley to stand up. Then I go forward and climb, and then I turn the camera around, just like this. Boom, and go. Just like that. Again, the other one's simpler, but it is a second slower. And then sprint crouch. Let go, hold back down. We continue onward. Now we can't hop out of this window until Riley does it first, so we're going to checkpoint her in front of us. And the checkpoint is those little piles of leaves right there. Now as for the exact timing, 8:57. That should be good, and it is. Notice the time change. I'm just going to keep overwriting a file. And, all right, here we go. This one's kind of fun. Normally, you got to, like, leap through the window, which is kind of awkward, and then go. And then go all the way down here. But there's actually something faster. And it's this. There is a checkpoint when Ellie's feet leaves the ground here. And it places her right here. And it turns out it actually saves about 0.6 seconds compared to just climbing out the window and falling down normally. So perfectly performed, it looks like this. Hop out of here. It's a little bit faster to go over this way because Riley's in the way. All right, 9:14. That should be good. Nope, one more. Come on. I must have hit it earlier. All right, hold on. Let me go back here. Now, why isn't this? Hold on. Did she not hit the? All right, that's weird. I'm probably too far to the left. There's probably. All right, I don't know why that checkpoint wasn't hit that time. No, it's still not hit. All right, I guess you need to be a certain distance over to the right. Like that should be good. Interesting. That's actually something I didn't know about. Okay. You can't be too close to the building when you fall off the little ledge here. So go right around here, and then start timing them. 9:14, 9:14, that should be good. There's the time change to 9:18. Restart checkpoint, and we're good. Now the moment the camera changes right there, that's another checkpoint.
Oh shit, hi!
And it just skips a little bit ahead. That first checkpoint saves about 0.6, 0.7 seconds. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're doing these over and over and over, they add up a lot. And that one, the time save is pretty clear.
Sorry. I'm a bit jumpy lately. Careful, it's wet.
All right, cross this thing.
Hey, so
Get to Riley's left.
maybe I should join the
And
fight.
then try and get pushed by her.
That was the first thing I
Right
asked
here.
her. She
Once
wants
you
to
start
take
going
me
ahead of her,
to school.
just go over here, fall down. No weird movement,
Why does
just
she care?
keep going.
She's worried I'll get you into trouble. Hey, remember the first time I brought you here?
I mean, this is just a bunch of checkpoints and running the spots. Super exhilarating, I know.
Is it a dinosaur?
Maybe.
I'll be your friend again if it's a dinosaur.
He'll just have to wait and see.
All right, when you get to the escalator here, again, we need Riley in front of us, so 10:04, keep that in your mind. 10:22. All right, yeah, right about there was the checkpoint. So restart checkpoint, places Riley right in front of us.
I can't believe Winston's gone.
Try and push her off to the right,
Do you know how?
because you need to, you can't run here. So when you get to the bottom of the escalator, you're forced to walk. So what you want to do here is trigger her optional dialogue right here. That will make it so you can run again. But if you push her too far away from you, you'll be too far away from her to be able to trigger it. So what you do, again, get in front of
I
her
can't believe Winston's gone.
and push her off to the right.
Yeah. Do you know how it happened?
And then you can mash
He said he
triangle
just fell off his horse.
and then run this way.
Heart attack or something.
Now, I wouldn't be able to run here if the triangle prompt was never hit, so you need to
How
hit
many
it.
people get to die of natural causes in this world?
Right around the time Riley is done talking. Now, this one isn't based on dialogue, it's based on your location, but right around here, 10:31, 10:31, keep going, right about here, 10:47. The invisible lines in the checkpoints here is kind of weird. You want to run off to the right. Yeah, you want to run off to the right here. That forces, that you get to the checkpoint a little bit earlier. And, yeah, you get over here. You want to stand right here, and the moment you hit triangle,
Ellie.
right there, you hit triangle, you restart checkpoint, and it just places you a tiny, tiny bit further.
It always feels like we're gonna
You
get
also want to
crushed.
be standing in front of the thing here, facing it. You don't want to be, like, opposite to Riley. You want to be, like, well, basically where I was standing. if you're in the wrong spot, the checkpoint might not work. It's basically the moment she goes to like reach for this.
I'll go first.
All right, now this one is the moment you hit triangle on this door here. So right there, the moment, very moment you hit triangle, restart checkpoint.
Hey, Riley.
Once again, very small time save. These last few ones are very small time save.
You can unlock it from the inside.
Well, these last two. The other ones placed Riley like ahead of us pretty far, so they saved a lot of time. But these last two or so, not a lot of time saved, but it all adds up. That's all I can say.
Well, you see anything?
This one you just want to stand
Riley?
right here and mash triangle. This is the boring part.
You dick! That's 2 times today!
How the hell did we never find this place? Come on, I got the perfect mask for you.
Just run over here.
Perfect.
Gotta play the game normally.
Check it out.
What is that, like a wolf
Just
man or
mash
something?
it so you can get the earliest prompt.
So stupid.
You can't, unlike the original, you can't hold triangle in advance and like anticipate it. You need to manually press it.
Now roar.
So right here, just you need to just tap it once, but by mashing it, you can hit it the earliest you possibly can.
Fucking roar.
This one you do need to mash. You can change it to hold, but it doesn't save any time. It's preference, really.
Roar! There she is.
Right.
Now let's see what else this place has.
You can't crouch here, so you just hold sprint and forward. When she's able to run, she'll run, and you just head for the door. Now, right here, I personally, you don't have to do this, but I personally use accessibility settings to turn on, go in alternate controls. I turn on auto pickup and persistent center dot. These are two things that you can have legally have turned on. If you want to follow Riley here, if you don't follow Riley, she ends up with a much longer, like, animation of looking at the cars and then going for the brick. So if you follow her, she goes for the brick first. That ends up saving a little less than a second. Now, right there, you have to look at the cars first. If you, hold on, let me make a file here, because we're probably going to do this a few times.
I got an idea. See those cars down there?
If you don't ever look at the cars, nothing happens. So you just gotta
Yeah, red one's yours.
do that. All right, so when you exit the door, I recommend having these things turned on, and
See
then
those cars down there? Yeah,
wait until I go over for this brick
red one's yours.
because it's like really out of our way. You want to use these bricks during the fight, so don't pick up this one to begin the fight.
I'm like the brick.
All right, now as for like this fight here, there is a certain like strategy to it. First of all, when you're aiming for the side windows, aim high. If you aim low, the hitbox is a little messed up. So for the side windows, if you're gonna miss up. That's the best piece of advice I can give. Now, as for this first throw, we are going to get 2 windows broken with 1 throw. I actually, in this moment in time, do not know if you can do this in the original, but you can here. Now, I align it up a certain way. What I do is I put Ellie's left foot right about at the edge. You can be further right, further left, doesn't matter, but I put her left foot right. Yeah, see, that's too far right. I put her left foot right there. And then the reticle right about just above the glass. So when you aim, and also a little bit left. So when you aim, it's going to see how it took out 2 windows? Took out 2 windows right there. So again, I normally go right about there. That's where I line it up, and I do it crouched. So Ellie's left foot is a little bit before like the gray part. I crouch, I throw it, now I don't just throw it, I manually aim and throw it. And then I go for the other ones. Here I can, here. I'll rush this a little bit.
you like that?
Like that.
All right.
Remember, if you're gonna miss on these side windows, miss up.
Boom. Last one. 2 down.
See, like, feel like that one shouldn't have hit. If that was aimed like at the bottom, it just wouldn't have hit. The hitbox is extremely, extremely annoying. Okay, but yeah, there's a set like brick placement and pattern that you want to do. And also, I personally, when the fight begins, I turn off persistent center dot. You can have it on if you want the entire run. I personally find it distracting, so I don't have it on.
See those cars down there? Yeah.
Here, I'll go through the fight one more time. We'll go through the fight a few times because you're gonna reset a lot of runs to this. I also personally prefer to have the flashlight on, but that's just preference. So right about there, and that should be good. And I just turn it off, and I have auto pickup on, so I don't have to hit triangle to pick them up.
All right, fool, you're on.
So I know it's gonna be a good throw. Get the back window. You also need to, you can't like be too far away from the bricks. You gotta get like really, you gotta get close to them. Just make sure you don't miss. That one you can be pretty far away from. That one I throw like on the run. And then this one. Here, I'll even show you, like, that looks like it should hit, right? It probably will. No, it didn't. See that? If you aim for the bottom half of one of the windows, it just doesn't hit for some reason. Like, that looks like it should hit, but it doesn't. Whereas if you aim for the top half of the window, my luck, this probably won't hit either, but all right. I mean, the reticle does change quite a bit.
Come on.
I mean, that might be an original Last of Us thing. The window hitboxes suck, to be honest. They really do. But, all right. As for where the pickups are, you use this one first. You come over here for this one. You use it on here. You run around. There's one right behind you. You use it on this window. And then there's one right behind you right there. You use it on this one. And then there's one right there you can pick up from kind of far away. You throw it at that one. Let's pretend it hit. And then there's just one more that's right there. Now with this window specifically, I do it fast. You don't have to do it fast. I don't throw it manually. I just don't. Or I don't throw it just by hitting R1 here. I do aim it. But what I do with this one specifically is I keep sprint held down the entire time. So I do it like this. And then I do an L1, R1, and I know exactly where it's going to go. So putting that all together...
I got an idea. See those cars down there? Yeah.
Trigger, yeah.
Red one's yours.
Again, I prefer to have auto pickup on, and I have persistent center dot on. Just for this first throw. Line up Ellie's feet. And I personally go for right about there. That's a good throw. That'll get both. I turn persistent center dot off. And then just do exactly what I showed you. And again, preference, I prefer to have the flashlight on. L1, R1. Get this brick. Hit that one. The brick pickups are annoying. Get used to that. That one for that one. That one for that one. Get this one. I try to get it off pretty quickly. And then this one. Boom. Now, the very micro pixel that the brick hits the last one, restart checkpoint, and it speeds things up a little bit. Just a heads up, you cannot practice this fight enough, okay? Because it's a lot harder when you're under pressure. You cannot practice that brick fight enough. Practice, 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 practice.
My car had tougher windows. Yeah, whatever, loser. All right, question time.
All right, now for this one, 4 prompts come up, 3 with questions, 1 just saying, never mind, you're off the hook. That prompt on PlayStation 5 is circle. On PC, if you're using a controller, it's X. For some reason. I don't know why. So yeah, if you're on PC, it's X. If you're on PS5, it's circle. You want to hit circle and then crouch for the doorway.
I'm scared. Okay,
It's the fastest line of dialogue.
you know what? Forget it. You're off the hook.
Now, as for this,
Okay.
You can't push Riley out of the way, but she can go for the door slowly. What I've found to work the best is be crouched, like, right here with her to her left.
Come on. Let me show you this thing. We're almost there.
Right there is when she should open the door. We're almost, like, right there is when she should start opening the door. Now, what you do here is you kind of let her go ahead of you. Get ahead of her at first. That'll force her to speed up, and then go.
What are we doing here? This is...
And then just stay close to her, follow her.
You know how we thought they only powered certain areas of the city?
Yeah.
Follow me.
And then right here, I prefer to just, like, run around her like that. That was good. Again, sometimes you can get some bad luck and her pathfinding kind of breaks, but doing exactly what I did right there was about as fast as you can get her to move.
Circuit breakers. All you gotta do is flip it back.
Mash triangle for the circuit breaker. Now, this checkpoint's funny. The checkpoint is literally the moment the lights turn on. Not when she flips the switch. The moment the lights turn on. Like, I can even show it to you. 1506.
No way this is gonna work.
1506, right there. Lights turn on. There's the different time right there. 1509. So the very moment the lights turn on, restart checkpoint, that speeds things up a lot. This one's very beneficial. All right, and then the moment you hit triangle on this door, I need to mention, Riley is not an unstoppable force here. If you try and cut the corner, you can block her. You can also just, like, push her all the way back to where you did the brick fight. It's super annoying. So give her some space here is what I'm getting at. Even when you get to the door. All right, so the moment you hit triangle and Riley starts talking, checkpoint's been hit. Right there. Subtitles pop up. Restart checkpoint. It just
Wait.
speeds things up a little bit. All of
I know
these
what you're
checkpoints adding up to save a lot of time. Some save more time than others, but all of them have a
I'm really
place
glad
and a purpose.
that you're not dead. I mean, I'm glad that we're back together, and
I didn't mean it.
And we gotta listen to this crap. But
All that stuff.
the next
said
part's a little bit
before
more
that.
exciting.
I didn't mean any of it.
We got that whole water area with the trucks and the stalkers, and then the next room.
you're such a sap.
And the strats are good.
Started it.
You have a strategy and a slight backup strategy.
Are you ready?
They can be difficult,
Totally.
but they're good. The room with the runners and the clickers at the very end is actually very easy,
Are you
thankfully.
kidding?
I don't know why they went with white. It's so freaking bright.
How do I get up there?
All right, there's actually a checkpoint right here the moment you can move Ellie. And the checkpoint is actually when the textures spawn in on her face. It's kind of weird. All right, 1636. Look at her face. Boom. Right there. That's the checkpoint. Now, you can, like, do this a bunch of times in advance to try and hit the very moment, but it's the moment the textures spawn in on her face. That's the checkpoint. This one saves you a few tenths of a second, just like the very first one in the run. And then you just head this way. It's the same thing. Ellie, like, her legs start moving, but she doesn't really go anywhere. This checkpoint makes it so you can move her right away. It's a weird visual checkpoint.
Oh, God. Fucking cat.
All right, with these leaps here, you want to hit X as early as you can.
Jesus. We're trying to kill me.
Because she's kind of slow here, and you'll see it just, like, propels her forward. So you want to mash X in advance of these. All right, ignore this. Don't pick that up. You want to go for this. And just mash triangle. Unlike the original, the triangle prompt for the generators, you can, like, accurately hit it the first time if you just mash triangle the first time. So, you do that. Ignore the note. The triangle prompt can be tricky sometimes. Go back here. Get the gas can. And this begins our first encounter here.
Empty.
And there's a few steps to it.
Maybe I can find some.
And we're gonna... When it changes from checkpoint to both checkpoint and encounter, we do checkpoint. So right about there. That signifies that the encounter has began. And, here, let me make a save file. And you can tell just where it places you. It places you went from over there all the way to over here without the timer going, so it's definitely worth it. All right, I'll do this fight a few times and then break down the specifics for it. All right, there's two different things of RNG you can get there. I got the worst of them. Let me just do all that again. Get your brick out. Throw and stab. Swap to the pistol and mash triangle and you'll take it out. That guy always drops a pistol. You want to reload and pick up the brick and then headshot this one. Swap to the brick and use it on this one. And that's that. We'll do it one more time because there's a few different things that can happen here. It's not gonna play out the same time every time. I'm swapping the pistol. I don't know why she's not. For example, this guy here, I'll just mention real quick. When you stab this one, you get the pistol he drops, reload, come over here. The stalker is supposed to be over here, but sometimes he can be over there. If he's over there, you headshot him. If he's over here, you back up and you leg shot him. And then stab him. And then you pick up the brick and you get into position. Why is she not swapping to her pistol? You don't have time to leg shot him if he's there, so. And if you can't make it in time, just go for another headshot. I'm not showing this off the best. Don't worry. I'll show off a good one soon. Get over here, run around this thing for an easier brick throw. Oh, I know what's going on. I'm sorry. This is completely my fault. When you're I completely forgot about this. When you are finished with the brick fight, turn off auto pickup. That's why it wasn't working. The game was picking it up right away. What you want to do is you want to swap to the pistol so you do the thing that I mentioned at the very beginning. Remember when we picked up our first brick? If you swap to the pistol and then pick something up, you won't do the picking up animation. Yeah, that doesn't work if auto pickup is on. Okay. With that turned off, when you get this stab right here, somewhere in the middle of it, hit right. The first thing Ellie will do when the animation is finished is pull out her pistol. And then you mash triangle to pick up the bullet he drops, and you shouldn't crouch to pick it up. Like so. There we go. And then run over here, and the stalker will either be in front of you, or he'll be over here. If he's over here, you have no choice but to headshot. Get the bullet, climb over here, and reload right before you pick up the brick. Reload right before you pick up the brick, and you'll pick it up without having to crouch for it. And you also need to reload the pistol for this headshot. Now, if you are fast enough, this one will drop right here so you can headshot it there, or he'll go over this way and you headshot him there. If you can't get in position fast enough, headshot him as he's running towards you like I've been doing with the second stalker. Because there's also a variation in when the third and fourth stalkers spawn in. There we go. Where is he? He's still over there. All right. Again, you don't have time to leg shot him. But just come over here. Reload. All right, I don't have time to headshot him, so I'm gonna try and get him. That's all you can do here is try. I'm not getting very good luck here. Most of the time, this stalker will rush you. It's kind of like a first try thing. But yeah, throw, stab, swap the pistol, pick it up. Still over here. If he's over here, get him. Get the bullet he drops. Reload. Boom. See right there, when you're right here, you want to aim right there. If you're not in time, he'll crouch over here, and then you want to headshot him right there. And then the last one you use the brick on that we picked up. Now this first stab can either be a stomach stab or a head stab. No matter which one it is, you still do the same strategy. I don't know why this one's not over here. Again, you get some variation. Now sometimes you can shoot off its foot. If that's what happens, you want to go for the stab like right away. I don't think triangle works. You can see the animation was kind of busted because we're in some floating water here. But yeah, you want to try and shoot his leg so his foot doesn't fall off. It's kind of weird. I still haven't gotten the variation that I want. He's not over there. All right, again, if he's over here, headshot. All right, so I don't have time, but I have time to go over there. Oh, that was really stupid. That was really stupid because that was a perfect headshot. All right, you know what? Let me just bring up a video here. Hold on. All right. No sound, but this is from my current record. This is what happens if you get the other thing of RNG. You run right here. There's the stalker. You leg shot him. It's a lot easier than a headshot, and he's moving in quick on you. And you'll have time to run over here, get the brick, and then headshot. Swap to the brick there to pick up the ammo he drops, and then run over there. But yes, when you get this one, you want to do that. That's a little bit easier than it looks, all right? It's much easier than a headshot. Now, the time it takes the third and fourth stalkers to spawn in is kind of random. I think it's dependent on, like, when you kill, or, like, the kill type of the first stalker, stomach stab versus a head stab, and then, you know, something else. But, yeah, it's, that's what a perfect fight looks like. Again, I think it's all the restart checkpoints and restart encounters that's making this area weird. Yeah, for some reason he's never there. If he is there, you gotta headshot him. You don't have time for the leg shot, but I showed you the leg shot. All right, I have time to shoot him. Boom. Get the pistol, run over here, and stab him. Now, this one's interesting. Watch this. And you want to leave here with 2 pistol bullets. That's the most important thing to take from this. You want to leave here. It doesn't matter you don't have a brick or bottle. You need to leave here with 2 pistol bullets. That's very important. All right, now watch this.
Is that it? Yeah, sounds like it. Okay. Find some gas.
And then the triangle prompt pops up. That's very slow, obviously. So we're going to do something when the fight is over. Still not there. All right. Again, if you can't get him there, you can get him right there. All right, watch this. You need to get the ammo. So I don't know the reason, but after you kill the last stalker, if you climb that van and then jump off of it, you skip the dialogue Ellie has, and you can triangle prompt this gas tank right away. Now, it's not as simple as climbing it and then jumping off of it. You need to be airborne when Ellie starts her dialogue. If you do it too late, no, if you do it too early, it won't work. So what I usually do is, I gotta remember to turn off auto pickup here. Yeah. What I usually do is when the fight's over, I turn off all the sound except for Ellie's dialogue. You're perfectly allowed to do that. So swap to the pistol, pick up the ammo, reload. If he's here, leg shot him. If he's over here, headshot him, get the ammo he drops, and only reload it when you're about to pick up this brick. Like so. And then wait. Headshot. Swap to the brick, pick up that ammo, and then stab him, pick up the ammo he drops. Now I'm going to do the audio thing here. I like to turn off effects and music, so all we'll be able to hear is Ellie. Right there. Is that it? All right, that's it. And then I turn everything back on. And that's the fight, really. So the things you got to look out for are, the first stab is the first stab. You get the ammo, you reload. Where's the stalker? Is he right in front of you? If he is, leg shot him, stab him. If he isn't and he's coming around to the left, headshot him, because otherwise you won't have time to get in position. Pick up the ammo he drops, run to the... I'm explaining it. Let me just do it one more time for shits and giggles. And again, when you're finished with the brick fight, make sure auto pickup is turned off. Alright, so again, this stab is what it is. Swap to the pistol, pick up the ammo. Where's this stalker? He's not here. If he's here, leg shot him, stab him. He's over here. You can only headshot him, pick up the ammo he drops. Now reload and get the brick. Alright, I wasn't in position. That's the other thing that I've been mentioning. The time it takes for the third and fourth stalkers to spawn in is random. I've timed it at like 13 seconds, another time I've timed it at 17.5 seconds. It's dumb and random. There, like before, you saw me waiting for him to hop down, and I did the same strat. There, he was already hopped down and moving, and it makes the shot a lot more difficult. So yeah, that's something that, if you're not comfortable, just try and get a headshot like I am with the second stalker. There can't really be any more variation besides that. We get the ammo, he's not there, so get him over here. That was a bit of a risk, but paid off. And then get him. All right, audio. And make sure you get the ammo he drops here. There we go. And go. So a certain type of breathing is the cue to know when to be airborne there. And I'll go with there. It's funny. Again, when you're restarting checkpoint over and over, you got to get that difficult second stalker headshot. But when you're doing an attempt, I find the leg shot on the stalker that's closer to you, the second one, happens more frequently. So it's just one of those things. Like I showed it off in the video, is a very strong chance of that's how it's going to be in your attempt as well.
That should do it.
But no matter which you get, you don't need that. What you want to do here is leap over this because it like propels her forward. It's very fast. And then go for the tank. All right, right here, the triangle prompt is very tricky. You need to point the camera at the ground and to the right to get this triangle prompt, because otherwise you'll pick up the note. So, right about there. That one's very awkward. 3 triangle prompts. And there. Also, someone mentioned, would you suggest a restart checkpoint if you lose health here? If you don't do the fight properly at all, redo it, okay? If you get hit, the only way you lose health here is from getting hit. And yeah, if you take any damage at all, a stalker hits you, or you miss a shot, redo the fight. Just redo it. All right. Go over here. For some reason, Ellie has tired sprint. I don't know why. And you want to get stuff over here. It's 3 pistol bullets and a Molotov. Even ungrounded, 3 pistol bullets and a Molotov right there. All right. Remember to sprint crouch. She crouches earlier. Now watch these turns because, yeah, that.
Everything's gonna be fine.
So you really want to do these turns very wide. Because if you try and cut the corner here, you still end up on solid ground, but it's like, it's very dumb. So when you're doing these turns, do these turns. And then you just want to jump onto the truck here. And then when you get right about here, do a leap onto there. You don't need to like just fall off. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to like fall off the truck. You don't want to leap off the truck onto solid ground. You want to do a leap off the left of the truck onto those crates. And the game will like lock you onto those crates. All right, you don't have to worry about it.
Easy. Easy.
Because this is a strategy that looks very scary, but it's not. Just get onto the truck and then right about here, do a leap, you'll go on top of the crates. It's very consistent, all right? You don't have to worry. It definitely looks a lot scarier watching than it is performing. Just make sure you're far enough to the left. If you're too far to the right, the game will send you into the water. But as long as you're holding forward and enough to the left, then you're fine. All right, open that door first, then open this door. And we're going to move this crate in a certain way so that it's always moving, because the movement here can be a little bit awkward. It's kind of awkward handling, but what we want to do is you want to move it like far enough away, like this way. You know, let me make a file here just in case. So, like, when you climb this and then climb that, you want to make sure that the crate is underneath the garage door here. I think a checkpoint was hit there. Yeah. All right, that's why I made a file. Let me just go back. So when you set the crate here, you want to climb this. You don't want to climb this. You want to climb the crate. And that's what makes for some reason, it makes the door, like, fall onto the crate. But yeah, as you can see, it's a lot faster as well. So if you push this crate too far, like, forward too much, like, perfectly straight forward, sometimes it just doesn't move. So you want to, like, constantly move it at weird angles. Like, right there, it's not moving. You just want to constantly move it at weird angles. So right there should be very good. All right, that one just worked. That was a good movement right there. Yeah, do that. All right, now for this part. This part's a little strange. Let's see if this works. Perfect. Right there is what you want. So it'll consistently send us back here, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So that jump is exactly what you want. The alternative is, and you can do this, you can like jump down here and then, oh god, jump down there, but you can see it's very awkward. Because for some reason, you can just kind of fall off there onto here, but right here, you can't just like fall off, you need to jump. Otherwise, you do this like leaning over the water thing there, oh god. So yeah, that right there is why I personally prefer doing that first jump I showed you. But there's some... Oh, god damn it. I could have just restart encounter. That was my bad. But yeah. Again, I'll show you the specifics of that jump. The next room is actually like the easiest part of the run, if you can believe it. See right there how it's not moving? You want to move it at like certain angles so that you'll keep it moving. From there. Oh. All right, it's too far away. I didn't think you could move this too far away. All right, there we go. That's good enough. You'll get the hang of it with a little bit of practice. Anyway, so what I'm looking for that specific jump, you see the metal that sticks out right there on the vents? I jump off the right side of that. And that is basically the worst thing that could happen right there, is Ellie, like, barely, like, makes the curb. Yeah, I think that was actually, I ran a little too far. All right, so towards the middle of that metal thing, a little bit further to the right. Now, you don't need to be facing this way when you do it, but you also don't want to be facing this way. I'd say right about here is good. And if that happens, that's fine too. But, yeah, I think you're starting to get it. The way I performed it the first time was bad. Again, I just want to avoid hopping on that truck because it's just... the movement's kind of weird if that happens. I want to jump right onto the... right in front of the door. So right about... oh, God. Even that's okay. Right there, even that's okay. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but that would serve a similar purpose as well.
Yeah.
Do this one more time. You know what? I'll even take that, but I want the one that I got the first time. And then we'll move on to the next room. The next room's kind of fun, because there's a strat that just works really consistently. You know, good enough. You saw how it looked the first time. All right, for this encounter only, I'm going to turn on awareness indicators so you can see how close we cut it with some of the spotting or not being spotted. All right, the moment it turns from checkpoint to both checkpoint and encounter is when it begins. You want to do a checkpoint here. I'm going to make a save file so we can do this over and over. Let's see a perfect performance first. And that was perfect. And then you just hold triangle to get out of here. Now, if that sounded scary in the headset, what's interesting about this area is once you've hit triangle on this door, only a clicker can get you. A runner can run up to you, but for some reason, he doesn't actually get you. He just runs up to you and does nothing. Like, look at the runner here. He just runs up there and does nothing. It's kind of weird. All right, but that was a literal perfect performance. Let's go over the specifics. So right away, you want to crouch, like, you want to hold down sprint right away, but you want to crouch right around there, because if you crouch for too long, the clicker or that runner will hear you, like so. All right, he's supposed to hear you. Hold on. Yeah, like so. So about at the halfway point up that ramp. And again, I think you want to, hold on. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you crouch, like I was mentioning before. All right, now right here. There's two things, actually. If you crouch too close to this runner, he will hear it. So you need to crouch a certain distance away from him. Like about so. Doesn't have to be too strict. Now, if you hit X too early for the window, you're going to accidentally climb this. Here, watch. Now, you obviously don't want that. I don't even know if this would work. I mean, technically, it still does. But it's... yeah, don't do that. So, crouch. Stay away from the runner. And then do a leap. So you don't do that. Alright, grab the bottle and then hit circle to stand up. Do a sprint leap. And then throw the bottle at that door. Same thing here, by the way. If you're too close to the runner, he'll spot you. So when you're crouching over there, you'll want to hang to the right. And you do need to distract them with the bottle that you pick up. And you also need to pick up the crafting ingredients that are there as well. The specific movement for all of that once you get in the window is... so once I get in the window, triangle, and then circle so she stands up right away. Then hold down triangle to pick up the stuff, and then do like a sprint leap. They won't hear you. It's okay. You're not sprinting. You're just doing a sprint leap. And then you turn the camera and throw the bottle at the door. If you want to do a manual throw, that's fine. I personally just use R1, not L1 and R1. Yes, hit X late so you don't climb the machine. So triangle, circle, hold down triangle to pick that up, sprint leap, and then I crouch and then throw. Now the reason I crouch sort of right away is because the runner that we go past there can hear you if you stay standing for too long. Like so, triangle, circle, hold down triangle. See, if I do this standing, he heard me. So when I land, I don't hit circle as I'm leaping. I basically land and then hit circle, then R1 in back-to-back prompts. And I kind of pre-align the camera a little bit. Doesn't matter if you kick these things over. So X, triangle, circle, hold down triangle. So right here, I land and then I crouch and throw. Whatever's comfortable for you, do that, okay? Hang to the right of this runner. Now, if you sprint too early, the triangle prompt disappears. Part of it has to do with the alert, part of it has to do with proximity of the runners to you. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. So you want to sprint when you get just a little bit past that shelf right there. Now, when you hit triangle, you want to be crouched because, so like circle triangle. Because you'll go for the door right away versus standing up. It takes a little bit longer. So altogether, it looks like this. Crouch. Stay away from the runner. Hit X late so you don't climb this thing. Triangle. Circle. Hold down triangle. Sprint leap. Crouch. Throw. Hang to the right of this runner. The other infected to the right won't spot you. It's okay. When you get right about here, sprint. Crouch triangle. You got it. Now watch this. The clicker will kill me, but the runners... See that? The runners are right here. They cannot get you off of the door. Only the clickers. It's such a weird thing. But that's how it works. Here's it one more time. Right there. And the runners can't hurt you, so you're fine. We'd probably do the sprint a lot later if they could, but now that works. See? That room's pretty easy, right? Consistent. I should mention, there is a scenario where the clicker, like, you throw the bottle to distract and you're crouch walking, and there's a clicker in front of you that runs past you. They're focused on the bottle, So the runner and the clicker to your right won't spot you or hear you because their focus is on the bottle distraction. But sometimes that clicker's alignment is different than what was shown here. Sometimes he's like 4 or 5 steps ahead of where he is. If that happens, you'll have to take that a little bit slower. It's rare and it's incredibly bad luck, but that is a possibility. I just need to point that out. Every attempt I did here, I got the better RNG. I'd say there's like a 5 to 10% chance of getting the bad RNG. Like, that was all good.
Oh, fuck.
He's a little bit more in your way.
Okay, be cool.
All right, this thing's hard to walk on.
Just be cool.
And then just mash X forward. And you're good.
Please be in here. Please be in here.
All right, now for the angel knives and water guns fight. There's a lot of checkpoint restarts in this part.
I'm not letting you go.
The rest is pretty simple.
I'm not letting you go.
Spoiler alert, for the water guns fight, you lose every time. You lose the first one, the second one, and the third one. It's the fastest option.
Totally.
But for right here, during some nothingness, we got some more restart checkpoints. So where are we at now? 30, 34. Overwrite this one. All right. Wait, what? No, I didn't mean to. All right, hold on. Sorry, I thought that was save. That was my bad. Give me a sec.
Are you ready?
All right, sorry about that.
Totally.
So this checkpoint restart right here is just like the beginning of the run.
Told you.
The very moment you can move Ellie. So we got 30, 51. Just keep doing it over and over. The moment you can move her. Right there, 3103. There's a difference. Restart checkpoint. It places you a little bit further, and you can move her right away. I think it's a little bit faster to step over here for a more direct path. And yeah, we continue onward. Now again, moments like that save very little time, but it's all worth it in the end. Trust me.
Whoa! Look at me!
All right, now the moment you hit triangle on angel knives, there's a checkpoint there, and then just like the others, places you a little bit further ahead. It's a 3104.
Way.
Right there. 3128. The moment you hit triangle on that, restart checkpoint.
No.
That one actually saves quite a bit of time because she has to walk up there and then begin the animation.
Man, for a second.
That one probably saves over a second.
You still can. How?
All right, come here. Close your eyes. Do it.
Okay.
Use this to move. This is your
Now for
punch.
angel knives, I'll start describing it now. There are 9 prompts
First,
right away.
choose your character.
They're all the same every time.
Playing as the unstoppable.
And then the ones after that are random. What you want are attack prompts, which are like D-pad, square, circle.
Am I supposed to
And then
picture
there
all
are
this?
block prompts, which are mash square or triangle or D-pad triangle. You don't want those. You want Black Fang's health to go down as fast as possible.
Black Fang steps out of the temple.
Unfortunately, it's all random.
Super ripped white dude with 3 arms. He's out for your blood. The music kicks up as he gets into his.
But like I said, the first 9 prompts are the same every time.
Great.
Round 1. Fight.
Round 1 starts. Black Fang rushes towards you.
So, yeah, basically these first 9 prompts, just memorize them. Like the first, just off the top of my head, the first one's up, and then square, and then left triangle, which you actually mess up on purpose, and then down, up, circle, and then mash square, then up triangle, circle, and then triangle, which we mess up again, and then down right square, and then down square, and then the ones after that are random. But yeah, the cool thing about this is you can do the prompts ahead of time. So this first one's just up. Notice me pressing it down. Hold on, let me make a file here. This is save. Okay.
He throws a double punch in your direction. Jump up. There. He
This one's
overshot
square.
You land behind him. Quickly, punch him in the back. You nailed him.
You know what? Let me move this over here for now. I just realized that.
With a
Gonna
wicked
get in the way.
elbow, taking off like 15% of his health. Yes. He spins around and
So this one is left and triangle. It's supposed to be done like this, but if you do it incorrectly, you won't be penalized, but Riley will have different dialogue. She'll say, you're supposed to press them together. And then the next one pops up right away. If you do it properly, the dialogue she has afterwards is a bit longer. So you do it like this.
back to the shadow claw attack. What do I do? Hold back and block to counter. You gotta press them.
So you got to press them together. All right, now right here is kind of funny. There's actually a checkpoint. Now, to the naked eye, this one wouldn't save any time, but what it does is it allows you to do this next input while the timer's still paused. If you look at the current world record for PC, you'll see that this is the case. So 3246. 3246. It's as soon as the buttons pop up on screen, I believe. Oh, there it is, 3304. So it changed. Now, when I do restart checkpoint, you're going to do down, up, circle.
Nice.
Now remember, the timer is paused when the screen is completely black, so I was able to do those inputs
Nice.
while the timer wasn't going.
Nice.
See that? And again, you do you do the first prompt in advance.
Nice.
It is nice.
Nice.
So just like that, it's kind of funny. And then the next one, I believe, is mash square.
He grabs.
Yep, and then up triangle circle.
Block. Kick for a blade.
Now this next one you want to mess up. So the next one is just triangle. But we're going to mess this up and we end up taking damage as Angel Knives, not as Ellie, obviously. What this one does is when the fight's finished, it cuts out a piece of dialogue. Like normally it's perfect. Your time here's done. If we mess up and take damage, it'll just be your time here's done instead of perfect. So, yeah, so it looks like this. I like to hold a couple buttons in advance.
Block him.
And we end up taking damage as a result. Now, what we do here is we go into accessibilities, alternate controls, and all the way at the bottom here is arcade inputs. We swap it to fewer inputs, limits the number of inputs per sequence, and you are allowed to do this. So if we unpause, that's the thing I mentioned. If we have it on fewer inputs for that triangle prompt that we're supposed to mess up, you can't do an incorrect input. So you need to have this set to default. Only after you mess this one up do you put it to fewer inputs, and then we do the rest, which is down, right, square, and then down, square, down, square. And then the ones after that are random, and you'll see I'm just pressing buttons. So here we go.
Hits you with down, forward, punch first. Yes.
Right, here we go. 1,
All right.
2,
Yes.
3.
Nice.
So 3 blocks isn't terrible. You can get a lot worse, but yeah. And then after you're done, put it back to default. So that was a lot of information. Let me go all the way back and
On the edge of the
do it
Shadow
again.
Temple, an ancient mystical building where they hold the tournaments of the immortals. Your opponent, Black Fang, steps out of the temple. He's this super ripped.
Just pay attention to my
Viking with
inputs.
3 arms. He's out for your blood.
You got to memorize the
music
first
kicks up as
9
he gets
prompts.
into his fighting stance. You ready?
Bring it.
Round 1. Fight.
Round 1 starts. Black Fang rushes towards you. He throws a double punch in your direction. Jump up. There. He overshot you. You land behind him. Quickly, punch him in the back. You nailed him with a wicked elbow, taking
Now
off
mess
like
this one up.
15% of his health.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be
Spins
overly
around.
dramatic,
He's
just
back
very
with a shadow
brief like
claw
that.
attack. What do I do? Hold back and block to counter. You gotta press them together.
Now remember, there's a checkpoint right here, so 3316. All right, I could have done that a little bit earlier, 3334. And then you can do these right away.
Nice. He grabs you. Mash punch to break hit up, block, and kick for a blade charge. Block him.
Right there. All right. Right at that moment, change it to fewer inputs, and then
Hits you with down, forward, punch first. Yes. All right.
here we go. 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4. That was horrible. You can get no blocks. An instance of 3 or 4 is just a lot of bad luck. It really is. I won't do that again. You saw what you need to see. But when you get to the unscripted ones, as long as you have it on fewer inputs, you won't be penalized for an incorrect input. And what you end up doing is you, well, I can't show this, but pretty much mash every... Oh, God, what did I do? Default, okay. Mash every button at the same time, if you can. So D-pad, here, hold on. Webcam. You know what? I'll put it on me. Literally do this. Just mash like a crazy person. Just mash. Okay. Move this back over here. See, now that the fight's finished, you should get the no dialogue. Like, perfect. Yeah, nothing. And then this is faster to not do the inputs for. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Again, I count out the block prompts because those are the ones you don't want.
The ultra kill. You just punch him once and he falls over dead.
Ah,
But blood still, like...
And just remember to
gushes
turn
out
that
all over the
onto
floor.
default for next time. Okay, cutscene skip.
where the hell did she go? Riley? Riley!
There. Remember to sprint crouch. Alright, save file. And there's some really good speed tech here. Ready to see it?
Come on, show me what you got.
First of all, first things first, I actually forgot right here. You can't move.
Don't get too comfortable
You
now.
cannot move or do anything until you've... You know what? I'll move this back over here again. You cannot move or do anything. Yeah, I'm coming in. You need the gun to be fully
Time to
pumped.
boogie.
So 5 pumps of the gun. You cannot move until you've done 5 pumps.
Gotcha. Got you on the run.
Now, like I mentioned, it's faster to just lose the fight. Okay? It's faster to just lose the fight. All the fights. Because Riley is like, she runs around a lot if you try to get her. Now, the moment Ellie gets hit, like this part of the fight's finished, you want to do a checkpoint. So 34:52.
Coming for you.
34:52. Right there. 35:28. So the time changed. You want to do a checkpoint. If you do encounter, it sends you all the way back to the beginning. But if you do checkpoint, pretty much always do checkpoint, okay?
Oh, man!
So right there, that doesn't look like much, but it's skipping some dialogue and animation.
Barely even hit
That
me.
probably saves about half a second,
Okay. You count to 5.
but it's worth
I'll
it, trust me.
hide, and we'll hunt each other. Whoever gets hit first loses.
Fine.
Close your eyes.
1, 2,
All right, the moment you can move Ellie here,
4,
we'll do another checkpoint. 35:29.
5.
All right, it's not as soon as you can move her, but it's a little bit before. 36:02. Not only does this make it so you can move Ellie a little bit earlier, but Riley will be closer to you. She should be in the same spots every time. So right, you should be like right in front of you right here. Now, the moment she hits you, personally, what I like to do is aim and that makes it so Riley hits you a little bit earlier than normal. Because there's a thing in the original game, if an enemy's aiming at you and then you peek, you get hit like the moment a pixel of your hitbox becomes available to them. It is probably the most annoying mechanic the game has to offer. They're basically ninja sharpshooters, every single enemy that has a gun. But I feel like it applies here. If you just wait for Riley to hit you, she'll hit you. But if you're aiming, not at her, if you aim at her, she'll dodge to the left or right. But if you just aim, I think Riley ends up hitting you a little bit earlier. Again, it's more of a theory. It doesn't hurt trying it. But yeah, you want to get close enough to her so she doesn't miss. But when that happens, just aim somewhere so that she's on screen, but you're not aiming directly at her. All right, now the very moment she hits you, like the very moment she hits you, and you can pause buffer this if you want, do another checkpoint, and pretty much the same thing that we just did, but it's funny. Notice how we're like at the beginning right here, but when it swaps to this part right here, Ellie is located in the spot where she was shot. So
Just go hide.
that's kind of funny. It's the whole reason that that restart checkpoint works and is worth it.
2, 3, 4.
Right, and then for this one, same thing. Riley's going to be in the same spot.
Time to die.
Oh, I'm sorry. We go this way. That's a little bit different. She's over there. Now again, the very moment she gets hit, you can tell when she gets hit because, like, if you're aiming, the camera is steady. Once the camera, like, changes, like, kind of zooms out a little bit, that is the moment that she gets hit. So you restart checkpoint, and the same thing. It places you back here where the fight started, but then when you get to this camera shot here, it teleports her to where, it teleports both of them to where they got hit. It's really funny, like by the TVs. All right, so that was a lot of blabbing and talking. Let's go from the start here. First thing you do,
Come on.
pump the gun 5 times, sprint up to her, and then do nothing.
Damn it!
I've got you on the run.
Now, the very moment she gets hit the last time, 3449, 3504, like right there. If you want to like go like that in anticipation of it, by all means, go for it. 3504, restart checkpoint. And it doesn't look like it, but based on speedrun mode, that does save you time.
Fucked you up.
What? You barely even hit me.
You're drenched. Okay. You count to 5. I'll go hide, and we'll hunt each other. Whoever gets hit first loses.
Fine.
Close your eyes.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Right, same thing here. You want to check what the time is first, 3505.
5.
3530. All right, so I could have done that a little bit earlier. That's interesting. So yeah, it looks like you can just move her earlier. And then Riley's going to be in the same spot every time, which is to the right and just right in front of us. And the moment the camera changes, the very moment, this one doesn't save a lot of time, so you want to get it the very moment. Restart checkpoint.
Oh, come on!
And now we're teleported back to where she got shot.
That's 2 out of 3.
Just go hide.
Again, it technically does save time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Here, I'll pause buffer this one.
Time to die.
So she's going to be right there. The 3606. You don't even need to check the time. It's the moment the camera zooms out. So, right there. See that? Camera zoomed out. I was still aiming. That's when she got hit. So, restart checkpoint. Places you right there.
Oh,
You just gotta trust me. All these restart checkpoints end up saving time.
wow. Okay, you know what? You got lucky.
About half a second per.
Yeah.
Want to go again?
Combine that over the course of like 4 restart checkpoints, that's about 2 seconds saved. Maybe more.
You gotta go.
Might be
back.
more. On some of them.
I gotta go back.
And that's that. All right, now for the final stretch.
Fine.
which I'm probably going to spend the most time on.
I guess. Come on, let me get my backpack.
You don't have to perfectly time a cutscene skip. The speedrun mode timer is paused on cutscene skips. On cutscenes, I should say.
Joel!
Alright, just like we've been doing at pretty much the beginning of every chapter. Restart checkpoint right here. It's the moment you can move Ellie, like once she stands up. So 3708. Right, literally right about there. When the time changes. There we go. I'll make a save. No, not load. I'll make a save file right here. I'll do it in a little bit, actually. All right, so restart checkpoint. It just places her a tiny bit further. Use this time to reload the pistol. We're still looking for nail bomb supplies. We'll get them in this chapter. Don't worry about that. Make sure your pistol's reloaded. Right here is where I'll make the save file. Alright, mash triangle to pick this up.
Oh, shit! What the hell? Just relax. What the hell are we doing here?
Alright, this guy will say, who gives a fuck about that old man? When he's finished saying man, that's when the encounter starts.
Who gives a fuck about that old man and a little...
Alright, I could have done that earlier, my finger slipped, but... when he's getting finished with the word man, who cares about that old man? And right there is when you can move her, as long as you press triangle early enough. Alright, this part really fucking sucks. There's no way around describing it this way. This part's a little different on PS5 versus PC. Here, I'll just do the strategy and see what happens.
Whoa! I see her!
Hey, would you look at that? Perfect.
Whoa! She's over here!
Perfect again. So that's what's... No matter what happens the rest of the way, that is what is supposed to happen. Okay. So what you want to do is... be holding sprint and right. When you notice her sprinting, let go, and then hold it back down. This game isn't as responsive as the original with regards to starting and stopping your sprint. So when you start your sprint and let go... Like, notice I was holding down sprint for a while and she wasn't going. There's about a 1 second downtime to, like, stopping and starting up again. So it's not the noise Ellie's making that's getting her alerted right away. It's the fact that this guy just happens to be looking this way. He's a little bit different on PS5 compared to PC. I think this strategy will work on PC as well, but we do something a little bit different. That strategy is basically... Instead of sprinting, we just stand up and then go right away. That's the reason we do that on PC and not on PS5. That strat doesn't really work here. But yes, for PS5, what you want to do, again, is sprint, let go, hold it back down. Now, it's not 100%. I shouldn't have to explain that, but it's not 100%. Now, something we're doing here is this enemy that's in the doorway. If you're too far to the left, he'll shoot you right away. So when you're running towards this door, you want to hug the right side so he can't hit you.
Whoa! I see her!
Like so. He'll either take cover behind the door... Ow! I looked at him. He'll either take cover behind the door or he'll run past you. That's what's supposed to happen. And you also want to pick up the arrows on these dead enemies right here. And again, what you do is you swap to a different gun from your bow to the pistol as you're picking them up. So it, looks like this. Alright, she shouldn't have had to crouch for that. Again, it looks like this.
Here she is!
Alright, now the reason that didn't work right there is because, just like PC, the guy on the left, for some reason, didn't notice me. Again, it's not the noise Ellie makes that gets her alerted, it's the fact that the guy's eyes are wandering, the guy to the left. Yeah, he's not...
I see her!
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe it's checkpoint versus encounter. I just want to test something.
Whoa!
No, it's just random.
Here she is!
See that? But what I was getting at, you want to swap to a different gun as you're picking up the arrows that this guy has.
Whoa! Hey, she's over here!
That's weird. Whatever, still works. Now, one thing, that's pretty much it. But one thing that's random are the amount of arrows you can get here. This guy that we run past and pick up the arrows, sometimes there's one, sometimes there's two. One time there was three.
Hey, I see her!
See, if you don't get alerted right away, it's just random, okay?
Whoa! She's over here!
See, right there was just one. We'll keep going. But yeah, that's how you do that on PS5. If you're on PC, you do this. Stand up and go.
Here she is!
Again, that will work a lot better on PC. But on PS5, sprint, let go. All right. He didn't notice me right away, so that probably isn't going to work. Dude. You need to notice me. Come on. There you go.
She's over here!
Like I said, it's not 100%.
Whoa! Hey, she's over here!
There we go. All right, one arrow. We'll go with one arrow because that's what you're going to get most frequently. And then crouch through here.
Which way?
And we're going to do a restart checkpoint when we get to the end of the vent. You don't need to look at the load file for this one. It'll transition from checkpoint to both checkpoint and encounter. So right about there. All right, what we're going to do is pick up a brick and then jump and then go. Now there are a thing of blades we need to get. Here, I'll just do it once.
The girl's here! Infected!
Use that brick to throw it at the glass and crouch under it. Now again, remember, you still want to do a sprint crouch. So yeah, you get right here, you want to pick up the brick and then jump. But you want to be turning the camera to the right, because something the game does is sometimes it'll magnetize you towards the runner, because there's a mechanic in this game, I think. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, for some reason, the game will like magnetize the jump onto the runner. So what you want to do is point the camera like this way, hit triangle, and then X. Forward, triangle, X while pointing the camera this way. So it looks like this. All right, hold on. Yeah, like that. And then right there, be swapping to the brick when you pick up the blades. Because otherwise, you'll crouch. And you don't want that. They shot the glass. That's kind of funny. All right, so all together it looks like this. Yeah, you can waste the brick here. You're fine. Sprint, crouch, and go. And there's a brick right here. So you get that. And then about halfway falling, 4150. Right there should be good. Yeah, there's a checkpoint right there. Restart checkpoint. And, all right, all I can describe this area as is this motherfucking room. All right, I'm going to turn awareness indicators on to show you this part. This part, no sugarcoating it. This part fucking sucks, okay? It just does. Um,
What was that?
Did you hear that? Look out! Infected! I'm moving up!
All right, that was good. So this is an area that's, I think, is a little bit different on PC versus PS5. On PC, all the enemies seem to hop down a little bit quicker compared to PS5 if you do a different strat. But I came up with a strategy that kind of gets them downstairs a lot faster and more frequently. Because you need the explosive that's in the drawer to craft a nail bomb. And then you craft the nail bomb and then you go. Now, it's very unlikely that one of the humans will climb back up and shoot you. But it can happen. If this fails, it's most likely because a runner came up and got you. They come up and get you a lot quicker. So even though this area is very risky, you have no choice but to perform it quickly, okay? If not for, like, the damage taken or whatever, it's mainly because if you take too much time, a runner's going to come up and get you. So I'll do this all again. So getting alerted is part of the strategy.
What was that?
Get his attention.
I heard something.
Get the bullet and that. And then... Ow. Now that's actually okay. I gotta be honest with you, you're not gonna believe me, but you don't actually need full health for the final fight. Is that preferable? Yes, absolutely. It is not necessary. I'm not saying the final fight is easy, but if performed perfectly, you won't take any damage at all. But as for the specifics of this encounter, so the enemies spawn in right about here. But if you make noise early, that kind of freezes these guys in place.
Whoa!
So right there, you need to kind of get the brick throw off later. So they... Basically, you want the brick throw to happen when that enemy is about right there. Let me show you what happens if you do this like the wrong way. So you get the brick throw off. They're up there. All right, hold on. The throw has to go far.
What was that?
So they're still up there. He doesn't know I'm here. And then chaos is going to ensue. But on PS5, they take a while to hop down. There's still a guy up there. There's still a guy up there. They can take a lot longer than that. And then notice how there's a runner right there? He's gonna come after me now. Oh, there's still a guy up here. My point exactly. For some reason on PS5, specifically, there's an enemy that doesn't want to hop down. So I came up with a strategy that I'm pretty sure works on PC as well. Basically what happens is you throw the brick right about there. This guy's still up there. He'll spot you. Now, if you notice, he's not aggressive.
Look out! Infected!
But, all right, I don't know why it might have something to do with the camera. That was just unlucky. Yeah, I don't think you can look at them. I think that increases the chances of them hopping down. But if you notice, they didn't shoot at me. For some reason, when they're alerted to my presence up top, they're not aggressive. But the alert of myself is their priority. So they all hop down. If it's just the infected, they seem to take their sweet time hopping down. But if it's me they're worried about, they'll all hop down very quickly. So basically, they're not aggressive, but they know I'm there. So they all hop down. That's why I'm getting alerted intentionally. So I just throw it. It's just a generic throw. It's just to keep them up there. So make your presence known. Get the bullet, the explosive. We got infected. They're all gonna hop down. There's 4. Go. And yes, if you get shot in your back, that was a perfect performance right there. That is exactly what you want to happen. Now remember, if they didn't know you were there and like we got infected, there are guys that just kind of hang up there. So the fact that they're alerted to your presence is what gets them down there. And if you're fast enough, you can make it out of there before the infected show up. That was literally perfect. It's also fast. You don't have to wait. Now the risk is, randomness in them not hopping down, but this is the best chance you got of them consistently hopping down.
Did you hear that?
But also, let's just see what happens.
Look out! Infected!
So they're focused on me. That's why they're all hopped down. And I'm probably going to take damage here. Nope. Again, the scary part is taking damage, but Ellie can take a bullet, no matter what. If she gets shot once, she will live 100% of the time, as long as she didn't take any damage in the Stalker fight. And especially if she hasn't taken damage anywhere prior to this, she will 100% survive a bullet. She won't survive 2, but she will survive a bullet. But yeah, you don't really want to wait. The moment you finish crafting the nail bomb, and you have to do it before the fight, you want to just go. There isn't really much else to explain. You want to grab a bottle before you leave. If for some reason this guy hops down, what you want to do is, just go right for the table. So craft this when you're finished crafting. Just go. Ow. All right, not only would that kill me, but the runner, I think, is going to come after me. Nope. All right, I got lucky there, but yeah. That's why right there you saw it was a little bit worse than the other performances. I threw the brick later, so it gave time for the guy to hop down. He still didn't shoot me right away, but that's more of a backup strat. If for some reason this brick throw is done late or whatever, or you're not comfortable with it, so you take time lining it up, if he hops down, go right for the table. Ow. Yeah, there's nothing you can do here. Look, they're perfectly content with just... But there's the runner coming up after me. I guarantee you, if I hit triangle and tried to get out of here, I wouldn't have made it, because there was a runner right there. That's how quick they can just come up after you. But yes, if that proves anything right there, try and get the brick throw off before... what is it? Before the first guy hops down to your level. Now, don't, try and get fancy by doing something like this. This might work, it might not, I don't know. Let's see.
I got you. Look out! Infected!
Right, that technically still worked. I still don't recommend that. And frankly, it doesn't matter because it's all based on your positioning and when they spot you. So that is an option, but again, I don't recommend it. That was fast. Not really.
What was that?
So just get noticed by him.
I heard something.
They're not aggressive towards me. They're going to focus on the infected, but they're all going to hop down because they're alerted to me. I might die here. Nope, still good. Now, once this starts, you have iframes, okay? Yeah, I'll do this all one more time. I think you get it by now.
What was that?
Did you hear something?
Get the explosive, craft. They're kind of blocking the way, so I'm just gonna go. Ow. Might die. Like I said, she will not survive a second shot. I want to see if I can, well, health doesn't matter, but...
What was that?
I throw it that way because otherwise it'll hit the lights. I wanna mention that. If you don't throw it in that direction specifically, and like, oh, I'm just gonna throw it this way,
What was that?
you might hit one of the lights, and you don't want that to happen. And again, if you throw the brick too early, like right there, that's easy. It's what you need. Get that bottle, let this guy see you, go over here, get the pistol, get the explosive, craft it. The rest is up to luck. I think we got some bad luck here. We'll see. Yeah, there's two guys still up here. Not only will this not work, but the triangle prompt doesn't even show up. There's always a chance of that happening. I'm not saying this is a 100% consistent strategy, but it's the best we got, honestly.
What was that?
Let them spot you.
You hear that? What the hell was that?
Get the bullet. Get that. Excuse you. And she is so dead. Not dead. Basically, this area really, really sucks. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that when we first started this.
What was that?
Hey, you hear that? Be careful, dude.
Are you gonna...
We got infected!
There you go. They're still focused on me. Alright, for some reason that didn't deal any damage. That's something I've been noticing. If there's that enemy right there and you go, you don't take damage. I don't know. This game in this area is weird. Let me turn... I'll keep head awareness indicators on for this fight too. Okay, it's not displayed right here, but as soon as you're able to move Ellie, restart checkpoint, and you can begin the final fight, and it places you a lot further. Okay. I'm just going to show a video of a perfect final fight. So give me 1 second. You'll have to excuse my language here. I got annoyed because I messed up. I lost 10 seconds arrowing this first enemy, so just ignore me and just focus on the fight, okay? Here we go. Just ignore me, okay? Here, I'll show you why I was angry. Why? Why are you fucking kidding me? This is perfect. That's 2 attempts. Fuck it. Oh, and I do that. Of course, and I get that. It was perfect.
That's that. All right.
Oh, fuck off.
Down there, by the door. Got a pin down. Go finish her.
Oh, that sucks. And that was a pretty much perfect fight. Get. Now the reason I showed this video is because, similar to Stalker Fight, when you're practicing this, you never ever get the enemy alignment that you get when you do it from the beginning of a run. Like, this is what you're supposed to get. More specifically, these last 3 enemies. Like, you can do up until there perfectly fine. But from right here, You never ever get this in practice, but this is what you'll get most of the time when you do it from the beginning of the game. This guy right here, headshot. That guy doesn't have to be headshot, but I like accidentally got one. Oh, and I do that. And then you run down and bottle this guy. That was literally perfect. I'll save the rest of this video for later. But, yeah. Let me see if I can do this right once. Yeah, I had a hard time hitting that first guy. We'll go over this fight very slowly.
Oh shit! Up there.
Oh, hey, look at that. That was actually pretty good. Not pretty good, that was perfect.
That's that. All right, Joel. Let's get this. Oh,
Down there by the door. Got her pinned down. Go finish her.
I'll explain all this a little later.
Holy shit!
All right, yeah, right there's tough. That had to be a headshot. Basically, whatever the 4th enemy drops, you use on the 5th enemy, and then whatever the 5th enemy drops, you use on one of the infected. I missed the headshot, and that would have killed the run. I can try again, though. Oh, I fired the arrow. When you're killing humans with the arrow, with the bow, you don't need to pull the string back all the way, you just need to flick it. Like so. Perfect. Alright, here we go. Alright. That was Final Fight. That was done pretty well. There is a lot to this, so let's get started here. Like I said, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies killed out of 8 in the first part are perfectly consistent. No excuse for not getting them. The 3 enemies afterwards, though, that's a whole different story. You saw how it's supposed to look, though. But first things first. First of all, you want to swap to your bow and hit triangle, and you do the thing where you pick up the arrow without having to crouch for it, because if you crouch for it, you won't have time to get him. And if you get him over here, they spot it. Not just that guy, but those guys down there. They see him die, so he needs to die quickly. So again, you sprint forward, hit left, and that makes you pick up the arrow without having to crouch for it. And then you get him, and then you get him. And then you swap to the nail bomb, and you want to throw it right about there. You see like the brown stains right there? Right about there. You want to throw it right about there, because the enemies are going to spawn in from this door here. So you want to throw it right about there. If you throw it too close to the door,
I gotta do something.
it actually won't kill them. So you want to throw it right there. That first arrow is tricky. Practice that, because that's what I messed up in my record. Right there. Reload the pistol here. And then I go from arrow to Molotov. Now this Molotov throw has to be... It has to get both of them. So if you throw it too far that way, you're not going to get this guy. You throw it too far this way, you're not going to get that guy. Right about there is where you want to throw it. And it'll get both of them. Now, if you notice, right before I pulled out the Molotov, I went left on the bow, and then I went down. That's because I throw the Molotov, I'm empty. The next thing that Ellie's going to pull out is whatever she was previously holding, which is the bow. and then you get the guy climbing up here. So, left, triangle, kill him. That can be difficult, practice it. Swap to the nail bomb, throw it there. I like to keep the camera level when I throw it, because you don't have time. Here, I'll explain this real quick. You don't really have time to line up the throw. So after I fire, I get that. I level out the camera, and I just throw it right there. Like, you don't have time to, like, right about... There's good. You basically just fire, and then keep aim held, and then just throw it right about there. Yeah. You gotta let go of one button. I'm still not used to that. Here we go. I like to reload the pistol right here. So arrow, Molotov. Throw it right about there, and then this guy should be right here. I don't know what happened there. That was supposed to kill him. I think it went through the ground first. Yeah, and then these guys right here. And then a guy with no guns should be somewhere down here. As for... I don't know why that didn't kill him. Again, I think the arrow went through the floor and then hit him. You're supposed to enter this fight with 2 arrows and 6 pistol. When you pick this up, you'll have 3 and 6. So that's what you need for this fight. If that happens, that means you hit his leg, which is really stupid. Oh my god, I keep messing up the inputs there. That's why I showed you a video of a perfect fight first. That's good. Reload the pistol. Arrow, Molotov, throw it right about there. There we go. Now where are these guys? Oh, he's right there, so I missed. Headshot. This has to be a headshot, so there we go. You need to end this with 3 pistol. It is okay if you don't have any arrows. You're supposed to not have any, but you have to leave here with at least 3. If you don't, you're fucked, okay? You need at least 3. As for the checkpoint right here, signaling the end of the fight, it's as soon as the stab happens, 52:49. Right there, I think. Yeah, right there. Again, you can pause and do all this if you want. Restart checkpoint, because if you restart encounter, it takes you all the way back to the beginning of the fight. So restart checkpoint, that places you right here. You just walk up and hit triangle right here. Right now, I can only show this off once, but this is funny. Ellie is going to get hit by the guy with the rifle up here, but that will not do any damage to her. For some reason, it's mainly just for show. She's like scripted to get hit, but it doesn't do damage. Kind of like that one instance of climbing out of the store. The guy shot me, but it didn't deal any damage. That happens here as well. But what we're going to do, we're going to pick up an arrow and a brick to our right. And after she gets shot, like maybe a quarter of a second after she gets shot, there's a checkpoint that's going to be hit, and we'll have the inventory, and we'll be able to reset the enemy's position. So it all looks like this. And again, I swapped to my pistol to get the arrow and the brick. I recommend swapping to your pistol to pick it up, because if you do the arrow, I've noticed sometimes the brick doesn't get picked up. As long as you've started for the brick pickup, if you get shot, it gets teleported to your hand, so you'll be fine. So it looks like this. Swap, triangle, brick. She got shot, but not checkpoint 53:25. Right there should be good. Yeah, right there. It's a little bit after she gets shot. She will get shot 100% of the time, but it deals literally 0 damage. It's very, very strange. All right, I'm going to make a save file right here as well, so we can just practice this part. All right, what you want to do is run up, headshot him, this guy, pop up, get him quick, swap to the arrow and get his rifle, get his ammo, kill him, use whatever he drops to kill this guy, and then use whatever he drops to kill the first enemy here. Oh, that was perfect. Okay, so what's weird about this encounter is when you kill the second infected with a rifle, the third and fourth infected actually lose sight of you and then do their alert animation. So that makes it so you're not like swarmed or bombarded. And yeah, basically for this fight right here, again, you want a headshot. And with this next guy, you want to crouch because, yeah, he has a rifle that will deal damage to you. So you want to crouch. But not only do you want to crouch, you want to get this headshot quickly. Because, all right, that one right there was this guy. But again, it's not dealing any damage. That one did. If he hits you like the first couple times, it doesn't deal damage. It's weird. I don't get why. But, so yeah, right here, want to crouch and then shoot. Oh, that's lucky to get arrows dropped like that. Then I'll just show you the end of this fight. So there's their like, I see you animation. That is a perfect final fight. That's crazy. All right, bet again. What else to mention? So you want to run up the right stairs so you don't get hit by the rifle guy. So you get right here, and then you want to, if you delay this shot at, all right, he ran away. If you delay this shot at all, he will hit you right away. So you need to like pre-align, aim and shoot, okay? So like, if you miss, that's on you, okay? Part of the strategy. Get him, and then get him. And then what you want to do is swap, after you get the third guy, swap to the bow, and then time the triangle prompt so you pick up the rifle without having to crouch for it. You can crouch for it, it's not the end of the world, but you want to go for the rifle ammo from the other guy as well. So, get him, get him, get him. Time the pickup so you get the rifle. I don't know why he's frozen. Ow. That was so unlucky. Yeah, when it comes to the fourth and fifth human enemies, there is unfortunately a lot of randomness to it, okay? I'm just pointing that out there right now. There is unfortunately a lot of randomness. You want the fourth human enemy to rush you. And he will do that the further you are away from him. He will rush you all the way to where you pick up the rifle ammo. And then whatever he drops, you want to use on the fifth enemy. Now, the fifth enemy can be in like 3 or 4 different places. There's only a couple instances where he's in a very unfavorable position. But the position you want him in is like, he rounds the corner and he's close enough to you, he'll put away his gun to try and punch you or grab you. And that's the time that you either arrow him in the body or you headshot him. I wouldn't recommend leg shotting him because the kill animation just takes too long. And then you pick up whatever he drops and you use it on the first infected. If it's basically you have 2 rifle bullets, you want to use them on clickers. And then you'll either have an arrow and a pistol. You want to use, no, you have either an arrow or a pistol. Use that on one of the runners and then a brick on another one of the runners. But, yeah. There's a lot of variation for like the 4th and 5th human enemies. You should be able to do that, but get the arrow, get the rifle. So this guy should be right here. See how I like baited him? All right, I got pistols, so I'm gonna try and headshot him. So that right there proved that it's extremely more favorable to get a arrow drop from the 5th human enemy. It's like a lot more favorable. If you get a pistol, it's just a lot tougher. Like, that shot is not... Well, it's not easy, and I wouldn't normally put that as part of the route. But I will say, if you enter this encounter with the checkpoint makes everything act really weird. If you enter this encounter with 4 pistol bullets instead of 3, you'd be much better off to like body shot a runner twice instead of going for a headshot. And you get that way by getting 2 headshots in Final Fight Part 1. But that's not really easy. So this is a good backup for that. So I'll just explain things out loud. Right stairs, headshot, crouch, aim and shoot. Headshot, swap, triangle. And then pick up the ammo, flick. I got an arrow, so this guy, he'll put away his gun. We got our arrow back, so we're just gonna use this. Shit. I don't know where the clicker is. There he is. Yeah, so when there's 2 remaining enemies, you want to use a brick and then a rifle on the one from really far away. That one was pretty good. A little sketchy, but good, because if you notice, sometimes it's not always the same alignment when you're aiming down the stairs. It's a little bit different every time. But that's pretty much all I got. Let's, we don't need a file. We can just go back to here. So, that's the final fight. Get him, nail bomb right around that area there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Reload your pistol. Arrow, Molotov. Throw it right around there. That should be good. Get him. This part's random, but we got the favorable outcome. 1, 2, 3. This guy should be right here. Right about there is the checkpoint. See, I tried for a headshot, but didn't get it. So you just work with it. Now remember, swap to your pistol to get the arrow and then the brick.
By the door. Got a pin down. Go finish her.
Right there's the checkpoint. That was good. There was an extra arrow that was dropped. You don't have time to get 2 arrows and a brick. I recommend just getting the arrow that's scripted to be there on the little table and the brick. I guess if I could say one thing about that is maybe check before you hit triangle on the door to see if there's any ammo in the area. Could help you out. But yeah, and then we just do what I did last time. 1 and 3 is the minimum that you need here. Headshot. 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 Get the gun. I only got 1 arrow back. Alright, did he drop anything? Alright, he didn't drop anything. That's what I mean about bad luck. See, that guy was in a weird spot. He was looking... I think he wanted to hop down to the lower level, but he didn't, so he was still aiming at me while looking down. It's just weird. You know? I told you, that's one of the random things right there. The 4th and 5th enemy are unfortunately random. But this is kind of all we got.
Yeah, try it. I hear you.
Ooh, that's a death. I mean, it might affect them if you get the headshot from down here versus closer to the top. There's a part of it that I think we still need to workshop that. Like, he's not moving. This guy's aggressive. That's just weird. All right, that didn't work at all. So I think if you're going to get this headshot, get it late. Like, right there, and then... Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. It's just a weird spot for him. Yeah, see, if you get a pistol dropped, it's a lot harder. And also that fucking 5th enemy, he's supposed to be in a different spot. I missed. You always seem to tend to miss this guy to the right. So over-exaggerate getting to his left. Like so. Maybe the center dot can help some of you. All right, I got pistol dropped, and this is a good alignment, so just back up. Boom. Get him. You drop more pistols, so reload it. And yeah, again, I don't recommend getting a leg shot. Try and get a headshot. What you can do is save the pistol bullet for last. It's just not as quick. Like rifle that one, brick the next one, rifle the next one, and then save the pistol bullet for like a headshot or a leg shot or something. I only don't do that because it's not as quick. But the alternative is basically asking to get a pistol headshot on that runner, and that's extremely difficult. If you had an arrow, that'd be a lot easier, right? Saw him run past, that was weird. This guy should be like right here. Yeah, I can tell you right now, there's not enough, probably not enough time to do this. And that's what I mean right there. When you kill, I think it's when you kill one of the clickers, they lose sight of you. I think that's what it is. If you kill a clicker, they lose sight of you. Briefly. It makes no sense at all. But yes, this fight is not fun to do or talk about, but they saved the hardest for last. It is what it is. And you hear this guy's footsteps really loud, but you just need to flick that. All right, I'm gonna use the pistol. That's a very good alignment. We already have an arrow, so, and watch how like consistent this is. They're gonna be like, I see you, to get him, and then, yeah, and then just pause when the encounter is over. That's that. All right, that's all I'll talk about for this one. But yeah, that's pretty much final fight. Is it a pain in the ass? Oh God, yeah. But it is what it is. And then you run over here and mash triangle.
Better be alive, Joel.
All right, I'm only doing this because the music that plays, the I Got You Babe, always gets copyrighted on YouTube, so I recommend when you're doing attempts, you also do this. Go into audio and turn off effects. It silences the I Got You Babe.
Barricade the door!
I'll overwrite the files we made.
This way. Ellie!
What about our backpacks?
So, leap over the thing and hit triangle as early as you can.
Kate, help me lift it.
Triangle prompt gets Riley close to you.
Find something to prop it up with. I'll hold it. Hurry!
All right, now this crate doesn't have to be like well aligned. It just has to get to this little corner right here. All right, the moment the blue door starts to rise, it's not as soon as the crate touches the door. It's when the game takes over and the door starts to rise. Restart checkpoint, and it places everything. Everything just starts happening a little bit further. That one doesn't save a lot of time, so if you miss it, it's not the end of the world. But it does save time. All right, we can turn everything back on. All right, when Riley's a little bit through the door, 5508, there's an invisible wall that lasts for quite a while on this door, so we want to do a checkpoint here. 5508. Just keep pausing it. 5519. That was a really good timed checkpoint there. So restart checkpoint, places you right here, and you're just able to get through the door a bit earlier. Climb up. All right, now as soon as you crouch underneath this thing, that signals another checkpoint. So 5520.
Keep running.
Right there should be good. Yeah, 5532. So right about there. Saves a lot of time. Gotta hit square. This one you want to run up and mash triangle. All right. After she's done saying all right, 5541. When Ellie turns around, just keep doing this. Trust me, it's for your own good. Unless I missed it. No, I don't think I missed it. Yeah, right there, 5553. So the number changed. Restart checkpoint. You can move her a little bit earlier, and places you closer. It also places Riley further, because otherwise you'd be like waiting for her to open the door. All right, try and get past her to the left here. And then right through the door right there is a checkpoint. I'm gonna see if I can do that again. All right, yeah. Try and get to her left. Just like, no, not like that. Hold on. I wanna do this properly once.
The stairs. The scaffolding. That's our way out.
I don't know why I can't get past her. Whatever. Try and get past her. When you get through the door right about there, checkpoint, it places you a little bit further. Oh, I didn't time it right. That right there is why you want to do these file, like checking the file times, because I thought that was good. It wasn't.
That's our way out.
All right, yeah, I don't know why I can't get past her. Doesn't matter. All right, 5625. Right there should be good. Nope, a little bit past that. There we go, 5635. All right, sprinting, hold forward.
We're getting closer.
It places you a tiny bit further.
Ellie!
If you forget that one, it's not the end of the world. That's one of those. It doesn't save that much time,
There's an open window.
but it does save time technically. All right, this one's important. This one places Riley further, so this one saves more than a second. 56. It's about halfway when Ellie leaps over the thing, so 56:36 I think was the time. Just keep checking. Just keep checking. There's the time change. Restart checkpoint. Now this one isn't about you. It's about Riley. It places her further because unlike the original, you can't climb up until Riley is all the way at the top. So we're just waiting here, and then you're good.
I got you. Hold on. Give me your hand.
You don't have to do any of the prompts here.
Quickly.
And then mash triangle approaching this. And then the run is over right there. That's a cutscene. And then quit to main menu. You check your speedrun mode statistics, and then you. This is the part where you want to show off all the stuff. Like awareness indicators, they're supposed to be turned off. Accessibility, lock on aim off, high contrast display off, enhanced off, infinite breath off, skip puzzle off, and combat accessibility is off. And if you're on PC, you need to show that your frame rate is capped at 80, because that's just the number we agreed upon. And on PS5, I like to show that it's unlocked frame rate. That's what the VRR stands for on speedrun.com on PS5. It's the variable refresh rate. Basically means you can have unlocked frame rate on, which offers, you know, just more smooth gameplay, and movable objects also move a little faster. So, yeah. So, that pre-final fight, final fight part is just a really, really rough stretch. You got to get lucky, you got to play well, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, not a bad run. Again, it's certain areas are a little bit differently done on PS5 versus PC, like the two spots in pre-final fight that I told you about. And yeah, when you're practicing like the stalker fight and final fight, there's a good chance you're going to get some enemy alignments that you're not going to get in a run. But I showed off what everything is supposed to look like, so just try your best, you know. That's all I can say. Yeah. Very Light is obviously done quite differently. I haven't gotten to that yet, but this is a good, you know, tutorial to watch for knowing where all the restart checkpoints are, and also, well, just how the areas are supposed to be performed. There's a lot. I know there's a lot of weird stuff with the pausing and the checking the file times and restarting checkpoints, all to save a few tenths of a second here and there. But it all adds up. It all adds up. And I feel like we could get below a 28-minute time if the run is perfectly performed. So, yeah, that's it. Hope you learned something, and happy speedrunning. See you guys. Bye.